Commissioner King, has anybody seen him this morning?
Have not seen her talk to me.
Okay, we'll see if he's here. The judge is absent, so I'll be acting as Judge Pro Tem this morning. And Pastor Guerin is sick, so Commissioner Aiken is going to do the prayer this morning.
You bow your heads. Father, we approach your throne thinking about the main things that are going on in our society today. Father, we're mindful of the fact that we have issues at the border over the weekend as well as in banking institutions. We ask for your guidance, take and help us at the local level, at the state level, and at the federal level to deal with these problems. Father, as always, our minds are towards our community. We hope that as servants we're able to make Wilson County a better place to live. And we ask this prayer in his name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
And we do have a quorum present. Okay. Let's see. Public comments. Mr. Arroyo. Yeah, you got 3 minutes.
Good morning, Commissioners, Sheriff Stewart, and everyone here in attendance. It's an honor and privilege being here. Some of you may not know me, so I will introduce myself. A couple of you I call friends and highly respect, and I thank you for your service to the country and Wilson County. My name is Joel Arroyo. I'm a veteran, patriot, taxpayer, and public servant. Everything I'll be talking about is factual and can be proven through open records requests. I would like to take time to talk about 3 things that are a major concern to my neighbors and I. The 3 topics are safety, transparency, and accountability. Some of you know I was once a very proud sheriff's deputy in Wilson County. I was forced to leave Wilson County Sheriff's Office due to unbearable working conditions set forth by the Chief Administrator, Clint Garza, and other administrative staff. This does not include Mr. Stewart, who always treated me with dignity and respect. I bring this up because when the new administration took over the Sheriff's Office, there was an understanding there was going to be a change in terms of efficiency and crime reduction. Wilson County Sheriff's Office was fully staffed with over 20 patrol deputies and fully staffed supervision to include corporals and sergeants. I quickly saw the number of deputies cut in half in less than a week, which means fully staffed patrol operations and coverage was cut in half. This means instead of having 6 to 8 deputies patrolling on rotation down to 4 or 5 deputies patrolling 990 plus square miles, night and day. Yet we and other deputies can continue to press on and take call after call. Luckily, during this time, you would have 2 to 3 deputies responding to a dangerous call, such as family violence or physical disturbances. Towards my last 2 months as a patrol deputy in June of 2022, for physical disturbances, which are everything from fights to domestic violence, myself and 1 other deputy would respond. This number is important and will be mentioned later. Safety. Yes, I agree some deputies are not fit for the job as sheriff deputy or supervisor in Wilson County. But those men and women, some with dozens of years of experience, had irreplaceable knowledge of our area. Over a short year went by, and the ratio of patrol deputies on night shift went from 4 deputies and 1 sergeant to most nights of 1 to 2 deputies and 1 sergeant, or sometimes just a deputy and 1 sergeant. That's 2 people patrolling our entire county. And that's 990 plus square miles, plus taking calls for service. I've been informed with firsthand knowledge that right now, our county is mostly being patrolled at night with just 2 deputies. This is a major safety concern caused directly by the work environment caused by Chief Clint Garza, created. The same day I turned in my 2 weeks letter of resignation, I was at-willed, which means, and I quote, can be let go for anything.
Okay, you need to wrap it up, sir, please.
Huh?
You need to wrap it up. Your time's up.
Okay. A total of 5 deputies, about a month time period, resigned from Wilson County Sheriff's Office, 2 being sergeants. Okay. Unfortunately, I can't go into transparency, which goes into details on the budget of 2020 and 2023. Okay, despite this extreme lack of manpower, Chief Administrator Clint Garza should be fully dedicated to solving the staffing issue and making proper working environment conditions. But he put his efforts into a political hat. He is too busy preparing for a run for sheriff by focusing his efforts into the Poth ISD board and currently serving as the Poth ISD board president. Chief Garza is quick to sit down with the Wilson County News, showing off taxpayer-funded equipment and vehicles, but I have not seen when he's been asked about the high turnover rate of patrol deputies and jailers and long response times for calls for service. And unfortunately, I can't go into great detail on the other things because my time is almost up. But a quick subpoena or internal investigation with human resources would prove what I'm saying to be factual. Deputies were wiretapped with audio and video devices by the administration in patrol rooms that were used to conduct official business. This is also true. I'm ashamed to admit deputies, including myself, were coerced and convinced to write documents to get deputies in trouble. I'm going to skip this because I'm running out of time, unfortunately. And I'll end with, I just want to thank you for your time and consideration into this matter. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Arroyo. Ms. Jordan, she's from Congresswoman Monica Cruz's office.
Good morning. I live in Karnes County, right down the road here, but I am working for Monica Dela Cruz as her field director in the northern part of the district. We've split the district between north and south. So I've got Wilson County, Guadalupe, Karnes, and Live Oak. So I wanted to let people know that we are here. We are here to service constituents. We have an office in Seguin, and then I will be spending 1 day a month in Floresville, 1 day a month in George West, and 1 day a month in Karnes County, and more if necessary. We will be at the Ag Life building down the street here in classroom 10. We're still trying to determine the date. I'm trying to coordinate it with your commissioner court meetings so that I can be here for, some of these. So we will let you know when that's going to be. But we handle things like constituent services. If constituents are having issues with Social Security, Internal Revenue, VA benefits, really big on the VA side, passport issues, immigration issues, we would be available to write letters of recommendation for students that may want to go to military academies. So we'll reach out to all the schools. We've actually got an art competition coming up, and I've reached out to all the high schools to let them know about that. Every year, Congress has an art competition, and one piece will be selected from our district that will be displayed in the halls of Congress for a year. So just different things like that. I wanted to just make people aware of our presence. We're here to help out however we can, so spread the word. And if anybody wants a card that I haven't given one to already, just check with me after this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jordan. No other public comments? Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is certificates of completions and awards. The first one is mine for the V.G. Young Institute of County Government for the 16 hours of continuing education. And the second one is from the County Judges and Commissioners Association of Texas that indicates that I completed my required training last year. Then from the Elections Office, we have Rose Labas, Olga Marrero, and Sarah Pettis that completed Election Cybersecurity Academy Cohort 1. And from the County Clerk's Office, we have Genevieve Martinez, Gail Ritchie, Crystal Hidalgo, Maria Spoon, Georgina Lira, and Loretta Rodriguez completed the Birth Registrar Certification course. Next item is the extension activity reports. Okay, for the record, Commissioner King arrived at 9:10 a.m.
AM, Judge.
Did I say p.m.? Oh, a.m., yes, a.m.
And if there's any questions,
Anything you want to tell us specifically about?
we're just staying busy. So,
So I understand we got some kids doing really well in the livestock shows.
yeah.
So how many grand champions did we have in San Antonio or
That's a
Houston?
good question.
Okay. I know we kind of have 3, okay?
Allison and I are comprising a whole fun spreadsheet.
Okay,
We're hanging on by a thread right now.
okay. All right, well, congratulations to those kiddos. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, next item is number 6. Update on the completion of 2 library grants. A is the Texas State Library and Archives Commission, the Digital Navigation Grant. And item B is Texas Book Festival Grant to fund diversification of the library collection. Ms. Storr.
Well, thank you guys for letting me come today. It dawned on me that with the new court that you guys might like to know what's going on at your library. So the first one, if we can go one more, we applied for what the Texas State Library called the Digital Navigation Grant. So it's funded by the State Library and the Archives Commission. It was part of the American Recovery Act. It came to us really late. We were awarded in November, but we didn't get the actual signed contract till April. So we actually had a degreed librarian that would work with us from April, and then she left us in October. So when we wrote the grant, we had 2 goals in mind. One was to find the people in Wilson County who needed broadband. The second part of it was to actually hire someone. Earlier this week, I sent out a fact sheet for everybody, and if you'll notice where it goes, come down here in the corner, where it's accreditation, the criteria for accreditation, our library is short 1 degree person. Since the state says we have a service population of 51,000, even though the census says we have 48,000, we have to have 2 MLS degreed people on staff, and I cannot be counted. So right now, we've been sliding under the wire because the way that their annual report lists, they just ask how many degreed people you have on staff. So I list myself. But
I'm sorry, can I ask, I know this was brought up last year at the time Judge Jackson had asked as well. Where is it, how is the state getting the population when by census, we're at
Right.
49,000?
I guess I've talked to them several times because I know Judge Jackson even offered to talk to anybody at the state library, sign anything to let them know that we were under that 50,000 threshold. And they said it's the outside people that come to use their library. So even though the population for our county is at 48, they assume that those extra people come in and use our libraries. So that's why they gave me the number of 51,000. So this is why I was really hot to trot to take after this grant, because they were actually going to pay for library staff and people with degrees. So what we did with the first goal is, and you can see the picture behind me, we created connectivity kits. So it had a backpack, a Chromebook, a wired mouse, and a hotspot. Then the grant paid for the monthly hotspot payments. AT&T gave us 11 hotspots free of charge. We just had to pay the monthly payments. Next one, please. So before we could even apply for this, they made me jump through hoops for training. And I went through something called the Edge Assessment Tool. It's put out by the Urban Libraries Council, and it's basically a benchmark to see how your size of library matches up to other libraries. The only place we were short on is that we do not supply software for people to create videos, to create podcasts. We just don't have the money to do that. And if you'd like to see the report, I can email it to you, but it's several pages long. So one of the other things we did is there should be a little yellow sticky on your paper. We created that so we could see how we could help people. So when you first walk in and you tell me, I need help with my phone, I need to print from my phone. So the staff judges how well you know what you need to get done. Then the next question is, did we accomplish the task for them? And then the third question on the sticky is, if that person were to leave, are they confident in doing the task themselves? So this pie chart that we have shows you when people begin, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, I can't see. Number one, I think is it the green? The green. So that's how much the people don't know when they come into the library. So if you can go to the next one for me. This is how much the people know when they leave. So the green now is down to 7%, and 5 is up to 33% of the people who walk out the door can accomplish this task. So this is how well your library staff is helping the residents in Wilson County. So what's changed? Well, we realized that people in Wilson County don't want laptops. They want the hotspot. So we broke all the kits apart, and it's now a shopping cart. When you come in and tell me you need assistance, we'll ask you, do you need a laptop? No. Do you need a wired mouse? No. Do you want the hotspot? So that all goes into, and you can check those out for 2 weeks. We're also learning that we have untapped expertise from the staff. I have an iPhone, my assistant has an Android. So if I can't help you and you have an Android, someone else in the library can help you get what you need. Okay, so we tried to work with a librarian, but she left us early. We were also able to hire 3 high school interns. 2 of them were on their way to college, and they left us early. So going forward, we're going to try again. We're still looking for another grant to help us hire people. The next grant that we're closed out, and I'm happy to say we did really good, is the Texas Book Festival. Does everybody know what the Texas Book Festival is up in Austin? Laura Bush created it, and it's held every year on the grounds of the Capitol. They bring Texas authors, they bring Texas books, and the Texas Book Festival also gives out to public libraries grants to help you build your collection. So they gave us $2,500 to beef up our collection. When we ran it through the international, can you go back one for me real quick? The IMLS, the Institute of Museums and Library Services, they have this wonderful database that you can export your collection, and they'll come back and tell you how you scored with diversity. Well, out of a possible 100%, we scored 9. So we used the $2,500 to buy diversity books. These are not normal subject headings for us, so we added books that dealt with characters of diverse disabilities, social economic settings, diverse authors, and the LGBTQIA culture. On the other side, go back one more for me. On the other side of the screen, this is what we actually purchased. We were able to get 50 picture books, junior nonfiction, graphic novels, junior fiction. We could only find 2 Spanish books and 11 young adults. They have all checked out since last October at least once. One more. So we closed it out this last month. We scored high on the diversity, and they really liked those posters that we put out. We call them read-alikes. So we started with a book that was really popular, and then around the poster, we put the books that if you liked to read the big picture, or if you read that one, you may like these other ones that are on the poster. The Texas Book Festival scored us really high on that. We've also, this is not a new grant for us. Since I've been on staff, we've applied in 2015, 2018, 2019, and now in 2022. The 2018, we bought the grief books to support the Sutherland Springs shootings. So, welcome to your library. Any more questions? Oh, these are some I forgot I added this one. We had some outstanding grants that are still in the process. We were awarded the 2023 Texas Reads Grant, where we're going to put up 2 more story walks. This one will be the city of Poth, and we also have our partner will be the San Antonio River Authority. And what those are, there's one in Lavernia and there's one in Stockdale. I love the one in Stockdale. It's around their splash pad. So in the summer, when the kids would go to the splash pad, get wet, get soaked, the parents would make them walk the 16 story frames, and by the time you got done with the end of the story, you were dry and can get back in the car and go home. So we're waiting to hear for the Texas Treasures, which is a scanning grant that we're going to hopefully partner with Sutherland Springs Museum, the Lavernia Museum Association, the Wilson County News, the Stockdale Museum, and the Wilson County Historical Commission. We're looking for those old newspapers from San Antonio that if we can scan them, we can also make them searchable. So you just type in a keyword to find your search. And any questions about the library?
Thank you, Ms.
Yeah,
Moore.
thank you guys.
Great. Looking forward to just getting ready for summer, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Item 7, discuss and take action upon the installation of new traffic control devices on Eden Crossing to be located at the T intersection of Bobby Lynn Drive. Commissioner Aiken.
I was called to this area in reference to different issues. It serves as a bus stop up on top of the hill where 324 and this drive, or excuse me, I'm dealing with my allergies in my lungs. Anyways, I was called by the public and I went out and took a look at this area, and there is a need to be able to help with traffic control in the area. I'd like to go ahead and carry it forward to having a public hearing to where we will be able to notify the public that we're considering putting stop signs at Bobby Lynn Drive and Eden Crossing. Bobby Lynn Drive already has one. This is a T intersection. And dealing with the county attorney, we'd like to take and go ahead and ask for a 30-day notification to go in the newspaper in reference to putting these control devices up.
Okay. So we need a minimum of 30-day notice,
Correct.
and that'll have the date of the public hearing.
And then we'll have to have a public hearing, yes.
So what's the first meeting in April? Yeah.
April 10th?
Is that right?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh, yeah. April.
Yeah, so April 10th would be the first court that we could do that. So I'll entertain a motion for the action that's required.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Perdola to set a public hearing for April 10th and do the proper public notification. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Oh, yeah, I guess we need to specify a time.
10 a.m. has
Yeah,
been the
we
norm.
normally do 10, so yeah, we'll say 10 a.m.
Now, I'm counting days. We get our 30 days with,
Or would it need to be the second?
It's 30 days from today.
Well, but I guess
He puts it in the paper.
I'm sorry?
yeah, it has to go in
After
the
you go
newspaper.
in the paper. so
is
it's
it
gotta
30
go in
days
next
after
Oh,
the date of the
30 days
paper, or
from the
can
date
it be
that's in the
30 days
paper.
from today?
You have to give 7 days notice that you're gonna have the hearing, in 30 days. So it has to be the notice must be published not later than the 7th or earlier than the 30th day before the date of the actual.
Okay, so we're good then. We'll be between the 7 and 30, because it'll go, we could put it in next week's paper.
And that'll be prior
Prior
to
to
30 days.
days.
Yeah,
And more than 7 and less than 30.
correct.
Gotcha.
All right, then we're good. Okay, item 8. A, discuss and take action on eliminating the position of Emergency Management Coordinator in the General Fund Department 1200.0523 and add a new position of Administrative Assistant to be shared equally by the Road and Bridge precincts. Mr. Trevino.
Yes, so Judge Whitman and I discussed this, and it's requesting the court's approval. We currently have a position for Emergency Management Coordinator in our EMA office. He's requesting to eliminate that position and add a position for Administrative Assistant for Commissioner's Court. And so there's no bottom line change to the budget for that to happen in order to do that. So I requested 2 budget items. The first one would be for your discussion and approval to do that. Basically, once we remove a position from a department, that position is gone forever until you deem it necessary. If later on in the future we deem it necessary to bring back that position, but at this time, Judge Whitman doesn't believe that it is a needed position. So that's what that item A is about.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we eliminate the position of Emergency Management Coordinator and add the new position of Administrative Assistant for the Commissioners.
I'll
Second.
second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Perdola, seconded by Commissioner King. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? There are none, motion carries.
Okay. And so my item B was just discussion and taking action on approving a budget amendment. And this is going to be to transfer the budgeted salaries that's currently in the EMA department, which is the 0523, and transfer the salaries and all of the benefits to be split equally before the 4 road and bridge precincts. And I cannot give you a dollar amount right now because I have to go get back and calculate where we are today, or I guess we need to establish an effective date if that's going to be today or the 15th of this month. So from March 15th through 9/30, those dollar amounts of salary and all benefits, I have to calculate what that is and then split it between the 4 precincts. And so I'll add those expenses to each of your salaries and benefit line items.
But you don't know what that amount was when they were in emergency management?
I do know the total amount was probably, give or take a little bit, because the salary for that position is about $36,000 in salary, and then you add another probably 12,000 plus maybe in benefits, in fringe benefits. So whatever, that minus where we are from October 1 till now would get subtracted from that amount.
Thank you very much.
Any questions on that?
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve budget amendment and transfer budgetary salary and benefits
Starting March 15th.
starting March 15th through September 30th of 2023.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner King and a second by Commissioner Perdola. Is there any other discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay.
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
Since you've approved it once I get the budget amendment typed up and I calculate what that is, I'll confine each of you to sign the amendment for my records.
Okay, moving on to item 9. Discussion takes action to ratify Operation Lone Star Task Memorandum to accommodate the addition of agencies to the task force. I'm gonna let the sheriff take this. I have one copy. I'm gonna pass it down. Just to bring the other commissioners up to date. We approved a interlocal agreement, about 6 months ago?
It's probably close to a year ago now.
Or a year ago now. And some additional agencies have been added, so I'll let the sheriff explain and answer any questions that anyone might have.
Yes, sir. As it says, the court approved about a year ago this same resolution with, I think, 28 different agencies in it. The task force has been doing very good statewide. We're very well thought of by the governor's office as far as what we've been accomplishing as this task force. Aransas County and Zapata County approached us about 2 months ago wanting to join the task force. And we've met with them a couple times, and we'd like to have them in there. In order to do that, we need to adjust this resolution so that they'll be part of the MOU and become part of the task force.
Any questions?
Do I have one copy of this?
Yeah, you can get one after.
Just to repeat, it's the same MOU, it's just adding 2 counties to it.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we take into account the 2 new counties to this MOU that we already have established.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Aiken, seconded by Commissioner Perdola to add the 2 new agencies to the Operation Lone Star Task Memorandum. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 10, utility permit number 719, Sunco Water Supply. Ms. Scriven.
Actually, on Friday, they said it was clear. Thank you.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and give y'all my next item. I have a utility permit 719. It's a proposal to bore under County Road 235. It's the typical 1-inch service line with a 2-inch PVC casing at approximately 6,250 feet north of the intersection of 123 and County Road 235.
I'll make a motion to have Sunco go ahead and bore under County Road 235. I've already been out there and reviewed all this.
Second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner King, a second by Commissioner Perdola to approve permit number 719 for Sunco Water Supply. Any other discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. B, Hidden Ranch.
Yes, so this is a variance request from our subdivision regulations. The developers of Hidden Ranch subdivision, they're currently have a plat submitted for Unit 2. And the variance they're requesting is the regulation is when 2 subdivisions are being developed next to each other, the roads of the new development have to tie in to
the existing development if there's a road stub out. They're requesting a variance from this regulation because County Road 168 has an existing easement that extends through where they're developing. And the
Here, let me help you.
help me out, please.
Yeah, so you got that right. So part of the easement, or the easement for County Road 168 extends into where some of they have their proposed lots in Unit 2. So we had a discussion with them concerning the fact that they need to tie into County Road 168. Their preference was to do that in the next phase and not this one.
Yes, in Unit 3, and where you're seeing on the satellite image that's highlighted, that's the proposed tie-in from Unit 3 into County Road 168, which ties into where it's currently maintained.
Right. And so I've reviewed this, we've met with them, and I'm good with it.
It did receive a favorable recommendation from the review committee as well.
So at this time, the only thing we're doing is allowing this variance, and they'll complete the plat application process, and then we'll approve the plat some date in the future.
Yes, this is a requirement for their current plat that's under review. And the review committee gave it a favorable recommendation contingent on Hidden Ranch Unit 3 connecting those roads to County Road 168. So that requires them, when they come and develop Unit 3, they're not going to be able to
So they won't be.
change that connection.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance for Hidden Ranch.
Second.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Martin, a second by Commissioner King to approve the variance for Hidden Ranch. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, item 11 is minutes. The judge can vote. Judge can make one.
Nobody can vote, but then you make a motion.
Yep. Anybody disagree with that?
Couldn't hear the,
Well, the question was whether or not I could make the motion acting as Judge Pro Tem. Well, there's no real, a judge can make a motion and vote, so.
I don't see why.
I don't see why not. It's your precinct.
You're still a commissioner.
Good. Minutes. So you have the minutes before you, Ms. Martinez. Anything you want to say?
They have been reviewed by the county judge and the county attorney's office.
I'll go to him.
Whenever you're ready, I'll entertain a motion on the minutes.
I'll make a motion that we accept the Commissioners Court minutes as presented.
Now, there's two different dates in this packet. Are we gonna do the 13th and the 27th?
Yeah, we can do them both in one motion.
Okay. Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Perdola, second by Commissioner Aiken to approve the minutes as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, Jalen Bodiford, personnel and payroll changes.
Good morning. Randy Jewell was hired as a road hand for Precinct 3, making $18 per hour, or $37,440.80 annually, effective today, March 13th. Catherine Ibram has resigned from her position as a dispatcher for the Sheriff's Department, effective March 10th. Colton Hart has resigned from his position as a corrections officer for the Sheriff's Department, effective March 10th. And Neetha Harrell has retired from her position as the telecommunications director for the Sheriff's Department, effective March 10th, with 27 years of service to Wilson County.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 13, lucky number 13, Mr. Daniel, on this 13th day of March.
Oh, yeah. I have bills for you in the amount of $227,039.97. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, but you would make a copy if you want, since you're emailing it to me.
I know, I thought I told
Yes.
her that, but she may
No.
have been out.
It's out.
Thank you.
I do have one question that won't, it's not a bill, but how do we handle we're starting to get the reimbursement checks on the tax event? Does that just show up in the budget?
It'll go, I have a line item for revenue for each of your price, for that grant. So as the money comes in, it hits that, so it comes off of the expenses that we have accrued.
Does it look like we're kind of got all of that working okay?
Yes, Kayla's been phenomenal, and Kayla and Kristen have been really knocking it out. So there was a little mix up on the weight. I think you guys were involved in that, on the weights and stuff for the dump trucks, but we've got it all fixed.
I think Kristen and I figured out, I spoke with her one day last week, that probably those old trucks were purchased without a dump body on them.
Yeah.
So the title
That's what makes it
reflected the chassis weight,
Yeah.
not with the dump body. So that's where that 10 or 12,000 pound difference was coming in, so.
Yeah, well, John worked really quickly in getting that corrected for us and
Good.
getting the updated registration so that we can submit. That was the last thing.
I know that ACOG was really
Mhm.
picky about that weight difference, and
Yeah.
that's the only thing I could come up with. That body is probably
Yeah.
10 to 12,000
And they've been
pounds,
really
so.
great with us too, so, that was the last thing, so we should start seeing our money rolling in.
Good.
I'm super happy about that.
We went through the same thing. In both instances,
Yeah.
the trucks were traded truck for truck, dual tandem and single tandem, and what it was the bed weight. They did an unfinished product weight, and
Yep. I'll make a motion that we approve the bills that the auditor has presented for payment.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Perdola, second by Commissioner King to pay the county bills. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Lucky 14, we are ready to adjourn, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn at 09:45.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner King, second by Commissioner Perdola to adjourn at 9:45. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. No, you're okay. It's easy, we'll just take it and pass it on down.
How will we proceed?
You just,
Were you able to check into that deal the other day?